Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Meri Brown has set the internet on fire and surprised the entire Sister Wives universe with a revelation so personal, monumental, and beautifully rebellious that fans are still trying to process the truth. Meri has quietly, privately, and very much on her own terms, gotten married again, and Kody? According to reports, Kody is devastated. This is not a meaningless tabloid gossip or clickbait headline. This is genuine, visceral, and remarkably poetic justice for the lady who once stood at the heart of the Brown family, only to be emotionally abandoned, spiritually divorced, and left wandering through years of loneliness, all while holding out hope that Kody could one day realize her worth. But now, the tables have turned in the most empowering way possible. After years of self-reflection, cryptic Instagram quotes, and long, soul-searching retreats, Meri Brown has emerged not just as an independent woman, but also as a wife again, to a man whose identity has been carefully guarded, shielded by a shroud of anonymity that has only added to the mystery until now. Insiders describe this man as emotionally available, fiercely supportive, and everything Kody was not, as the polar opposite of the patriarch Meri spent decades trying to please. According to sources close to Meri, the wedding was intimate, spiritual, and completely camera-free, just the way she wanted it. No reality show production crew, manufactured drama, Robin, or turmoil. Meri, her closest friends, and the man who finally recognized her for who she is, without restrictions, contracts, or comparisons. However, when the news leaked, it was Kody's response that grabbed headlines, not the new husband. For the first time in years, he cried. Not the staged tears we saw on Sister Wives when he felt misunderstood or challenged, but genuine, gut-punching, soul-stirring sobs of regret. According to family members, Kody was caught off guard. He had no idea Meri had progressed to this point. While he had long been emotionally estranged from her and famously declared their marriage over, there was a silent assumption, an unsaid arrogance, that Meri would always be connected to the family in some capacity. That notion crumbled the instant he heard the word married. Friends say he sobbed not only for Meri, but also for himself, because her wedding represented something terrifying. Meri no longer belonged to him, his past, or the Brown family he previously ruled. Her fresh beginning marked the end of the narrative Kody believed he could rewrite at will. And to be clear, this wasn't simply a narrative about heartbreak or surprise. It was Meri's victory lap. Meri rewrote her tale in bright, beautiful ink after being regarded as an outsider in her own family, facing public humiliation, emotional neglect, and a spiritual divorce that felt more like a dismissal than a decision. Fans are rallying behind her in droves, flooding social media with messages of encouragement, celebration, and tearful cheers that sound like long-awaited justice. TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube went crazy the instant the wedding rumors were confirmed, with hashtags like #MeriMarried and #MeriMoves trending in minutes. And perhaps what makes this story so powerful is that Meri did not announce it with a photo shoot, ring reveal, or a splashy press release. She did not need to. The moment was hers alone. She allowed the murmurs turn into roars, and by the time the reality became clear, she was already gone, no longer stuck in the emotional undertow of polygamy, no longer seeking approval from a man who constantly rejected her misery. She chose love. She picked herself. And in doing so, she struck a bond with every fan who ever watched her cry alone on that Flagstaff porch, every woman who recognized herself in Meri's quiet anguish, and every viewer who ever screamed at their TV, wanting her to leave. She did not just stroll, she sprinted right into a new life. But what about Robin, the favorite wife and last one standing? Sources said she was stunned into silence. Robin, who has frequently publicly supported Meri while privately benefiting from her absence, was allegedly unaware of how far Meri had drifted, and how totally she had let go. While Kody's tears were likely filled with shame and grief, Robin's were apparently filled with bewilderment. She's always wanted the family to be united, but with Meri's new union, the last connection has been severed. There is no family to rescue. Kody is no longer the plural husband. He's a man surrounded by the ruins of the building he once claimed was divinely inspired. and the ruins are haunting him. Because, as much as he attempts to portray himself as the misunderstood father, he knows, deep down, that Meri's wedding demonstrates his failure. He failed to love equitably. His incapacity to create connections. He failed to be the husband he vowed to be. And that failure now has a face, Meri's beaming, radiant face as she stands side by side with someone who didn't take long to recognize her worth. Even Meri's child, Leon, has allegedly expressed modest but unwavering support for their mother's new life chapter, finally seeing her joyful in a manner they hadn't in years. While Kody is lost in a vortex of what-ifs and sorrow, Meri thrives. She's taken her business to new heights, traveled, and posted cryptic but joyous phrases about fulfillment, serenity, and healing, and we now know why. She is not only discovering herself, but also her person. Her new husband's name is being kept secret for the time being, although suspicions are circulating. He's not in the spotlight. He's not looking for fame. He is a peaceful, stable, faith-filled man who met Meri through common acquaintances during one of her solo spiritual retreats in Utah. They bonded on shared life values, personal development, and the power of beginning again. What began as friendship evolved into an emotional lifeline, and love blossomed, not under the glare of reality TV lights, but in the quiet, precious intimacy of genuine connection. And fans cannot get enough. Some people are pushing Meri to tell the entire story in a book, a tell-all, or a documentary. Others want her back on TV, but this time as the main character, the heroine who broke free from spiritual constraints and asserted her value in front of millions. Perhaps Meri is planning exactly that. One thing is certain, this wedding is a before and after for not only her life, but also for the Sister Wives series. Because what now? What will Kody's position be going forward, now that everyone except Robin has left, and the first wife has regained her future in such a dramatic and decisive fashion that there will be no more spiritual wives or contrived reconciliations? Will Kody keep filming, bringing forth the fractured pieces of a story that no longer resembles polygamy? Or will Meri's wedding mark the definitive conclusion to this chapter? Fans are watching. The entire world is watching. And somewhere, behind closed doors in Flagstaff, Kody Brown is wiping tears from his face, not because Meri left, but because she has finally found what he never fully offered her, true love, permanent love, and a life that no longer hurts. That, more than anything else, is the last twist in a story we never imagined would change. Meri Brown did not only go on, she won. And the most poetic part? She never had to yell, demand, or prove it. All she needed to do was live it. It marks the end of an era, one that began with faith, optimism, and spiritual dedication but gradually unraveled in the public view as love turned to distance and collaboration into alienation. Kody Brown and Meri Brown, previously sister wives main couple, have officially ended their relationship, and while fans have witnessed the cracks forming for years, the final rupture is no less sad. Their relationship was the foundation of the Brown family's multiple marriage dream, a spiritual agreement made decades ago when Kody and Meri wedded in 1990 as young, idealistic believers in a greater calling. For years, they looked to be one, bound together not only by marriage but also by a mutual desire to create something larger than themselves, a poly family in which love multiplied rather than divided. However, that dream gradually disintegrated under the weight of emotional neglect, jealousy, treachery, and a deepening distance that cameras could no longer hide. The end of Kody and Meri's relationship was not a dramatic event, it was a slow, painful erosion that began long before Meri's famed internet catfishing scandal, and long before cameras captured Kody's blank expressions and dismissive shrugs. The seeds of separation were seeded in hidden comments, unmet demands, and Meri's quiet agony as Kody's affection obviously shifted toward other women, particularly Robin. Their once intimate bond evolved into a convenience arrangement, held together more by legacy and public image than by love. Meri, ever loyal, held on to the notion that things would change.